Yeah, my wonderful people, my viewers and subscribers. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. According to my commentator, so today happens to be Friday, TGIF, and it happens to be the 21st day in the month of July, in the year of 2023. And I know as we take do am, we go first gather the headlines where we go expect for this broadcast, and also then we will come back to give our analysis on what we think or what you need to know about the said news. And I don't want to take much of your time, and I don't want to talk too much, and I don't want you to also talk too much in the comment section. Just make your point very clear and civic, as we all about to reason together in the course of this struggle for the independence of Biafra, and also what that is happening in that so-called contraption, Nigeria. Well, number one on our list here, in fact, before I proceed, do not forget to subscribe, do not forget to like, comment, and most importantly, and very, very necessary, please let this video make it go viral, because Ipob have come with their own threat. And I remember, say, last 2 or 3 days, I brought a news where the coalition of Northern Group, CNG, are threatening the so-called president of the Fulani government of Nigeria, Ahmed Tinubu, that if we ever try to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that Nigeria will be no more. And the IPOB accept that challenge with all their faith. In fact, the IPOB now and the entire Igbo region and also Biafran nation have come out now with their own threat to the CNG, which is the coalition of the Northern Group, telling them that if they ever advise Tinubu, or if the so-called president of the Fulani government of Nigeria ever listen to the Northern Group and continue detaining Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that they will legally, they not say illegally, but they will legally sink Nigeria if he ever listen to the Northern Group. Make us hear this headline before we can be able to do what a punch and analyze the news to our own understanding and benefit. Let us go there. Let us go to the reason why we are here. Nnamdi Kanu, this one is coming from the Ipob and the general public of the Igbo nation. We will legally sink Nigeria if you listen to the Northern Group. Ipob wants Tinubu. This is a part of our news that we have this day. According to Dele Farotumi, and I still remember this man, this one, no, they hide his feeling, he ever say it the way it is. And it's an activist and an ex-legal practitioner. He used to be a lawyer before, but he said he cannot continue practicing lawyer in a country or in a lawless country. In a country whereby the people at the top decide what happened at the judiciary. So that makes him to cut his dream short of becoming a lawyer, because you cannot tell him to go to defend somebody where we say the case where he know that he won the case even 1 million times. They will turn it the other way around, all in the name of either the case don't have merit, or that the case don't have that English they used to blow locus standi. And nobody when they take confuse the gullibles in the society. And when they speak this one, our eight mothers and fathers and most of us we be youth, we no go to university, we no go know what they mean. And maybe na their obodo Niger. Subsidy palliative. APC government is legislating also into slavery, according to Dele Farotimi. Then this one is on. I still remember this man. This one not the only one of the fearless investigative journalists that we have in the so-called contraption Nigeria. In Nemo, and I go remember him, even if I no call him, I go see say this one now say him be nightmare to the APC government and to anyone that is not doing things right. His name now Oseni Rufai of Arise TV. Look at where he said here. He said, "Where are the people you gave money?" According to him, he comes with a question mark. Rufai Oseni reacts as NEC, National Executive Council, dumps Buhari's social register. Well, this social register, a lot of things there inside though. If they open this book for you, I swear to God, my dear brother, you go vomit. In fact, you go come out your peteri and begin to run record on the street. Okay, this one is coming from the office of the APC and their so-called spokesperson, Festus Akpamo. Make on hear what he talking here. All your useless social media threats and blackmail, we hear nothing. Akpamo last opposition over fake stories. Which one be fake stories? The chairman of fake stories is Festus Akpamo and FFK, including Bayo Ononoga. Dele Alake is not what excluded. These 4 people, I swear to God, my dear, how they parade news, you go shed tears. Okay, make on hear this one. This one is coming from the office of the so-called INEC chairman, Mamudu. They used to call him prof, but me, myself, I cannot call him prof. If this is how the profs are behaving in a normal society or in a sane environment, my dear, this one, this one on a local professor, make on hear what he talk. Upon this case, even they carry Tinubu go to court over this $460,000 for feature in the United States of America. Look at waiting. Make on look waiting this man. They tell us this Mumudu. He said, and I quote, INEC not aware of Tinubu's U.S. drug-related feature of 460 before 2023 election. I don't say this one must surely have a netizens. We're going to react to this very news. Anyway, we are going to see to that when we come back to analyze this news. You are the main chaos and anarchy Nigeria has, according to this activist Aisha Yusufu. He knocks President Tinubu over warning on disqualification. Say if they disqualify him, they go have anarchy in the land. And I ask, I beg you, who is fooling who? You open people's palm and collect their mandate. They declare you winner, even when you don't meet the electoral qualification to be announced as the winner. And you call them to go to court. They humbly went to court. You also at that same court, threatening them that if they disqualify you, that the country will be into chaos and that. In fact, make that country ends once and for all. Make it ends once and for all. At least make everyone know where they stand, because what is happening in that so-called country, my dear? Anyway, let me hold my peace. According to President Tinubu, he said to stop Atiku's petition over his academic records. Everything they are doing is to make sure that anything that got to do with petition, my dear, they will try everything. Even according to the news I had this morning, they are forcing two out of the 3 judges at the presidential election petition court that they should do what? They should resign honorably, or they should do what? They should drop those cases or those allegations or those suits filed against the so-called president of the APC, president of the INEC, and the president of the Fulani government of Nigeria. Woman in court for allegedly possessing 36 barrettes with Ipob insignia. Oh, where this one they happen? Anyway, now no say this country no get they no get law. This country called Nigeria is a banana republic. Anyway, let us proceed because we have a lot of news to give on. Am I gonna hear this headline again? Niger Delta ex-agitators. They don't give a NDDC, Niger Delta Development Commission management ultimatum of 5 days. Say make all of them vacate office. I don't know which go trigger this action, but we will know when we come back again for the main news. In fact, let us go straight to the reason, because now we have gotten enough headlines, and let us analyze the news to our own understanding and the way we are going to go about it. Nnamdi Kanu, they will think Nigeria if they listen to Northern Group. Ipob wants President Tinubu. The indigenous people of Biafra has warned the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu against listening to the advice of the coalition of Northern Group, CNG, on the continued detention of its leader, Nnamdi Kanu. The CNG has asked Tinubu not to release the agitator. According to them, responding, Ipob noted that the continued detention of Kanu will sink Nigeria legally, not illegally, legally. Speaking via a statement issued by the group's spokesperson, Ima Powerful, Ipob described the Northern Coalition as clueless for urging Tinubu not to listen or release Kanu. According to Powerful, Powerful reminded the Northern Group that an appeal court sitting in Abuja had discharged and acquitted Kanu, hence Tinubu should order for his release. According to them, he urged Tinubu to act on the advice of the Nigerians, asking him to release the Ipob leader in the interest of peace or in the interest of Nigeria for the development of both the one where they home and abroad. According to Ima, he subsequently charged the group to stay clear of Kanu's illegal and unconstitutional detention. Otherwise, they go hear me. That's all he talk about, don't me talk. And according to Powerful, according to the news we have here, the headsman collection of Northern Group that are advising the Nigerian president to allow the law to run its course are so clueless that they didn't realize that the Appeal Court of Nigeria in Abuja has already said, this man, I beg on leave him, make him go, because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have not committed any offense. The way, in the manner which they brought him back to the country, is enough to discharge him from every frivolous charges where they level against the young man. The Nigerian government is in a violation of both local and international laws. According to them, Ipob as a lawful and peaceful movement will legally sing Nigeria locally and internationally if they refuse to be a democratic country and release our leader and call for a United Nations supervised referendum, according to Emma Powerful. The earlier this government takes the advice from the reasonable people around the world and release Kanu unconditionally and pay him the compensation as the Abuja Court of Appeal and Omaya High Court ruled, the better for every one of us in this so-called Nigeria. The continuous illegal detention of Mazi Kanu as the coalition of northern bandits desire will sink Nigeria and all its beneficiaries. Under the Yaram, this one is coming from the office of the Ipob spokesperson, where you name be Emma Powerful. Okay, according to our able ex-practitioner, ex-legal practitioner, Delefaro to me, he can clear also, make us understand, say, this APC government, they are just trying to legislate us into slavery, but God forbid, we can never be part of it. In short, they are legislating Nigeria, not Biafra, because Biafra, it went over when the time is right. Political analyst and lawyer Derek Farotimi has accused the federal government of neglecting Nigerians in its subsidy approach. No, they are busy sharing the 70 billion naira palliative where they give to the National Assembly for doing nothing. Why they are dissing the country and the poor masses are dying of hunger on daily basis. This one now, sir, even they say they talk say it better make bandits kill them than to hunger to kill them, because I go buru mad my brother. Oh, I go mina laji ofu pala majiri my brother. Oya do ya baba. That oga do ya baba. The lawyer lamented that the ruling All Poverty Congress APC budgeted the sum of 70 billion naira proposed palliative for the National Assembly members, while leaving nothing for the ordinary citizens of the country. Now, so the thing take be. Speaking during an interview with Arise Television on Thursday, Dele Farotimi argued that the government does not treat Nigerians like humans. In fact, they see us like less humans because we are poor in the society, according to the ex-legal practitioner. He insisted that the government has become the enemy of the people and gradually turning the citizens into slaves, adding that the APC lacks the will to improve the lives of Nigerians. And I totally agree with you, because they have not done anything. For the past 8 years, where the government sold Nigerians and Nigeria itself to the hands of the country that they went to borrow. Now this country again, this administration of APC have continued from where the government have stopped. They don't have any plan or whatsoever. The only thing they know how to do is to enrich themselves. Imagine mapping the whooping sum of 70 billion naira for a house that is not up to 500 people, though 300 and something people, which amount to 145 to 150 million naira each person. And they have the mind and the God to come and tell us they want to share battery of 8,000 naira per household for 12 million individuals. And I ask, I beg, who is fooling who here? Are they leading or they are ruling? Because this one now, they are not a leader, they are ruler. They are ruling us any way they like, anyhow they like, whether you don't like it or not. That money that I have already proposed for the out of assembly must be shared to them, whether the people shout from that down top of their voice, even if they do anything. Haven't you heard it? What Obasanjo said the other day? They are allocating salaries completely out of the Nigerian so-called constitution. Those any amount they like, they will just allocate to themselves. If you like, believe it. If you don't like, believe it. They are sharing the money. It's going to the account. You don't even know anything about it. As it stands now, each and every one of us now, whether you're unborn children, as long as you are a man or you're a woman in that country called Nigeria, my dear, you are owing all either Chinese firm or World Bank or any country that Nigeria have borrowed. 77 trillion naira plus the one that this government will borrow. At a point, you will understand that we are slaves in our own land simply because they have already sold their country through Boro. It happens in some African countries whereby Chinese have taken over their main source of income, their seaports and their airports. According to him, nothing makes sense in Nigeria anymore. What we do now is just trying to survive. The government of the country doesn't treat Nigerians as human beings. It is not just about treating us as citizens. We are not being treated as human beings, according to Dele Farotimi. Let's imagine this. What kind of mentality or idea governs a country where the government believes that it is okay to budget 70 billion naira for less than 500 people and then gives what is essential nothing to so many people? Let's assume out of 220 million we are assumed to be in this country, only 300 and something people will share 70 billion, while the remaining will share the rest of 500 billion, which is not even up to. If you share that money among the remaining Nigerians, they say 12 million people, not all the whole Nigeria. If you share it beyond all the whole Nigerians, I can categorically tell you that one person can never get up to 100 naira or 50 naira. But look at what is happening in the National Assembly. And I ask, I beg, who do us? Let us continue. Before the end of the next month, they will ask us to pay some more. The government has become the enemy of the people, and we have to look beyond all these petty differences and begin to ask questions, because these are essential issues. They are legislating us into complete slavery, according to Dele Farotimi. Where are the people you gave money? Rufai Oseni reacts as NDDC dumps Buhari's social register. Popular Nigerian TV host Rufai Oseni has reacted to the National Economic Council, that's NEC, decision to dump the National Social Register compiled under the former President Muhammadu Buhari. Nigeria News record that on Thursday, NEC had announced that the National Social Register under Buhari's regime lacks credibility. The council subsequently proposed the implementation of a cash transfer program for status based on their social register and a cash reward policy for public servants for 6 months. The decision was part of the outcome of the over 5 hours meeting by members of the council at the State House on Thursday. The governor of Anambra State, Charles Soludo, told newsmen that NEC agreed that states should come up with their registers using formal and informal means. We need to face the problem of the fact that we don't have a credible register, he said. Reacting to the council's decision, Hussein recounted how a few weeks back he asked people receiving money from the government to speak up, but there was silence. He wondered who were recipients of the funds being distributed by NEC in the past administration. Speaking via Twitter, he wrote, "Some weeks ago, I challenged the social register and asked people receiving money from government on this platform to indicate." The response was graveyard silence. Interestingly, NEC is also faulting the social register. Abeg, who wanna give money in the past government that you claim you share people money? I thought they said the World Bank was cool with the social register, but NEC has got qualms with it. Ekelebe stoner, according to Rufai Oseni. Your mouth too bad. In 2016, the federal government of Nigeria, or the foolish government of Nigeria, established the National Social Investment Program, NSIP, to tackle poverty and hunger across the country. For the take-off of the program, the government has directed the immediate release of 25 billion. For its implementation, a national social register was created, comprising names of vulnerable people and households across the country. All your useless social media threats and blackmail, we hear nothing. Facebook Akpamu, last opposition over fake stories. What are the fake stories, I beg? When no be you and the FFK, including the Bayo Nonoga, they carry up and down, to the extent that even the United Nations have been European Union observers, include you and FFK into their observing. Voila, don't finish you. A former Minister for Labour and Productivity, Festus Akpamo, has berated members of the opposition cooking up stories against the judiciary. Nigerians recall that the Court of Appeal on Thursday debunked the news that a member of the 5-member panel handling petitions seeking to nullify the election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu resigned. A high-ranking official to the court who spoke to Vanguard described the information as fake news, insisting that it was the handwork of evil rumor mongers. The source, who pleaded not to be mentioned because he was not authorized to speak to the press, maintained that no such thing happened. He said, "I was with some members of the panel yesterday and I cannot authoritatively tell you that there was nothing like that." Oh, you are with the members of the judge yesterday or the panel. What were you doing there? Are you part of them? This is part. You have just used your hand now to expose yourself of the secret plans or the arrangement that you people have been making to do what? To shut their mouth up so that they will, on the day of judgment, they will turn it upside down. Nigerians are watching, and what they call it, posterity must sorry judge. He said, "I was the members," okay, according to him. Reacting to the allegations against the judiciary via his Twitter, Akpamo lamented that the legal body constantly has to defend its honor due to stories from the blackmailers trying to force the revered institution to do their bidding. The All Progressive Congress chieftain warned those behind the fake stories to take a walk down history lane and read up on how the judiciary survived the onslaught of the military regimes and dictatorial civilian regimes. The erstwhile minister insisted that the judiciary has survived war situations, hence the effect of the blackmail is lost on them. According to him, it is now one concocted story against the judiciary and judiciary officers, all in a bid to blackmail that reverend institution to do some parochial bidding. Never in our history has the Supreme Court or the judicial arm of the government been forced to be issuing denials every other day over silly allegations without any scantilia of evidence, mischievously conjured and released by some dysfunctional minds who support some dysfunctional politicians, according to Festus Akpamo. Hey, I don't say this man, his case is always upside down. Well, those cowardly keyboard assassins and blackmailers should read our history very well, according to him. So, for those sponsored blackmailers, most of whom take shelter abroad to do their nefarious trade, just be informed that all your stories of blackmail will not yield anything in favor of any party before our courts. Justice will be exposed according to the law and not in difference to useless social media threats and blackmail. According to Festus, he ended his news by saying sorry to the public. INEC not aware of Tinubu's drug-related forfeiture of $460,000 before 2023 election, according to Mahmood Yakubu. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has said that it was not informed about the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's alleged drug case in the United States before the just concluded 2023 election. Liars will end up at the deepest hellfire. Mahmoud is one of them, and your children can never escape this fire, I swear to Almighty Allah. Nigerians report that 2 decades ago, a United States District Court passed a judgment on Tinubu and ordered him to forfeit $460,000 suspected to be a proceeds of the narcotics trade. The event happened while the incumbent Nigerian leader was in the United States or living in the United States. Recall that the Labour Party and its presidential candidate in the 2023 election, Peter Obi, has seeking the removal of President Tinubu from power, alleging some irregularities by INEC during and after the February 25th presidential election. In the petition before the presidential election petition tribunal in Abuja, through his legal team led by Dr. Levi Uzo-Ukwu, SAN, Obi stated that Tinubu was at the time of the election not qualified to contest election to the office of the president, and he was fined the sum of $460,000 for an offense involving dishonesty, namely narcotics trafficking, imposed by the United States District Court, Northern District of Illinois, Eastern Division, in case number 93C 4483 titled United States of America versus Plaintiff Funds in Account of 263226700 held by First Heritage Bank in the name of Bola Tinubu. Labour Party and Obi all the tribunal to disqualify Tinubu on the ground or on that ground, among other prayers. However, in his final written address obtained by journalists, INEC's lead counsel A.B. Mahmood, son, said the commission was unaware of the alleged drug-related case involving Tinubu. INEC insists that the case was not brought to it before the 2023 presidential election on the alleged imposition of a fine on the second respondent, Tinubu, by the United States District Court. In case file, whatever it is, the case of the first respondent, INEC, is simply that same was not brought to its attention, he stated. Mahmood again told the tribunal that the 1999 Constitution provides that the fine that disqualifies one from running for president must be associated with a court sentence. He said, however, Section 137, subsection 1 and subsection D of the Constitution, which provides for the sentence of fine as a disqualifying factor in respect of a presidential candidate, states as follows. They maintain that the U.S. judgment was not a criminal conviction, according to them. On the issue that the order of forfeiture by the United States District Court, they, Tinubu APC, contend that there was no criminal charge, sentence, or conviction to support the allegation of criminal conviction or forfeiture. They further contended that the alleged order of forfeiture, being that that of a foreign court, is not registered in Nigeria to be enforceable and is in fact now over 20 years since the alleged order was made, Mahmood insisted. You are the main chaos and anarchy Nigeria has. Aisha Yusuf knocks Tinubu over warning on disqualification. Popular Nigerian activist Aisha Yusuf has said that President Tinubu is responsible for the chaos plaguing the country as at the moment. Yusuf stated this while reacting to Tinubu's warning that nullifying the presidential election on account of the fact that he did not score 25% of the lawful votes cast during the election in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, could lead to absurdity, chaos, anarchy, and altercation of the very intention of legislature. Tinubu had told the Presidential Election Petition Court that the two petitions filed by candidates of the Labour Party and the counterpart of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, seeking the nullification of his victory at the presidential polls are not only novel but not familiar with the country's electoral laws. Tinubu's submission were contained in his final written address against the two petitions pending at the Presidential Election Petition Court. Reacting to Tinubu's warning via a post on Twitter, Yusuf argued that the president is the main chaos and anarchy Nigeria has at the moment. According to her, she insisted that disqualifying him would restore Nigerians' confidence in the electoral process. She wrote, Bola Tinubu Ahmed is the main chaos and anarchy Nigeria currently has. Disqualifying him will restore the confidence of Nigeria in the electoral process in particular and the nation in general, according to Aisha Yusuf. President Tinubu says to stop Atiku's petition over his academic records. Stop. That is what we keep seeing. Bola Tinubu has presented a motion to dismiss a subpoena filed in the Circuit Court of Cook County, Illinois, Chicago, in response to a fresh petition from the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar. On July 11, Abubakar filed a petition seeking more information on Tinubu's academic history at the Chicago State University. The documents requested by Atiku and his lawyer, Angela M. Liu, include Tinubu's university admission record, attendance dates, degrees, awards, and other honors. Abubakar stated the goal of the subpoena was to tell the truth and veracity of Mr. Tinubu's assertions. However, in response, Tinubu's lawyer, Victor P. Henderson, on July 19, requested the court to reject the petition, arguing that no judge had heard and approved the subpoena from Atiku. They have even lawyer home and abroad. Hey, Ohala. Henderson also criticized the timeline given by compliance, only 6 days, which he pointed out was shorter than the 14 days stipulated under the rules 219 and 137 of the Illinois Supreme Court rules. Furthermore, Henderson criticized Abubakar for engaging in an improper fishing expedition about a foreign public official utilizing the Illinois court subpoena power. Nigerians understand that the former vice president is challenging Tinubu's declaration as the winner of 2023 presidential selection by the Independent National Corrupt Practices Commission, INEC. Well, I love the video. I beg, we will continue. A non-fire woman in court for allegedly possessing 36 barrettes with the Ipob insignia. Police in Lagos on Thursday arraigned a woman, Charity Hero Akazi, 28, at an Ikeja magistrate court for allegedly having 36 barrettes with the indigenous people of Biafra Ipob insignia on them in her possession. The defendant, an artisan who resides at 14 Nuruddin Street, Ojo, Lagos, is being tried for conspiracy and unlawful possession of Ipob berets. News Agency of Nigeria reports. The prosecutor, Inspector Samuel Mizonu, told the court that the offense were committed on June 16 at Mosalasi bus stop, Satellite Town, Lagos State. Mizunu said that the police on patrol intercepted a rider carrying a big black nylon bag on his motorcycle. The defendant said the rider was carrying 30 pieces of black, green, and red berets with Ipob insignia written on them. The prosecutor said that the rider led the police to the sender's address, leading to the defendant's arrest. According to the prosecutor, the offense contravened the criminal law of Lagos State of 2015. The defendant, however, pleaded not guilty to the charges. The magistrate, Mrs. Folashade Hughes, granted the defendant bail for 50,000 with one shorty in like sum. Hughes adjourned the case until August 2 for mention or for hearing, I don't know. Niger Delta agitators gave NDDC management ultimatum to vacate office. The Niger Delta agitators have given the management of the Niger Delta Development Commission a 5-day ultimatum. The ultimatum may be connected with the Samuel Ubuku-led management's disobedience to the directive of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu that boards of all parastatals and agencies of the federal government stand dissolved. The ex-agitators, under the auspices of the coalition of ex-agitators of Niger Delta, specifically warned that if Obuku and his team failed to leave office after the expiration of the ultimatum, they would occupy the commission and ground the activities of the commission. CEND, in a statement signed by its chairman, General Dabo Ikeabo Alalibo, said it was unbelievable and unimaginable that the team could be operating against the directive of the president, insisting Obuku and his team were occupying their office illegally. Our president gave an express order dissolving all parastatals and agencies of the federal government. The NDDC was affected because it wasn't among those constitutionally exempted by the directive. But we understand that some persons close to the president spearheaded the conspiracy that allowed Obuku and others to remain as a management team of the NDDC. It is illegal. They either vacate the commission or face their wrath. Alalibo insisted that after studying the scenario and investigating the development, it was a misnomer and unconstitutional to allow part of a dissolved board to remain in office. This is not the era of former President Muhammadu Buhari, when presidential directives, which are supposed to be sacrosanct, no matter, were treated with kid gloves and flouted with flagrant impunity. The order of our president must stand because there's no sacred cow and no preferential treatment. NDDC should not always be a victim of lawlessness, a fate he suffered throughout the administration of Buhari, Alalibo said. Alalibo insisted that the Oboku team immediately hand over the running of the commission to the most senior director in NDDC, adding that the current status was sabotaging the interests of all stakeholders and member states. He advised that the current peace in the Niger Delta must be protected by the federal government by avoiding decisions that could send wrong signals in the Niger Delta region. He said, and I quote, the present management team of NDDC is illegal. The president has dissolved all parastatals and commissions, including the present NDDC board. But some people conspire to allow Obuku lead the management team of the NDDC, and he is still being addressed as the managing director. We don't want the region to run into another era of crisis, and that is why ex-agitators are asking the federal government to appoint the most senior director to take over the running of the NDDC until another board is constituted. We are calling on President Tinubu to take immediate action. We give the Obuku-led team 5 days to vacate the NDDC for peace to be maintained in the region. We are saying that after 5 days, if the needful is not done, we are going to shut down the NDDC and barricade it. It is going to be pressure for pressure, and we will hold the government responsible for whatever happens, according to the traitor. The president should avoid anything that will bring pressure from the Niger Delta, especially now that we are having tension caused by the removal of the fuel subsidy. Everybody is angry now, and if Mr. President fails to ensure that the NDDC board remains dissolved, we should take responsibility for anything that happens. He was an interim administrator for nearly 1 year, and within this period, they were using the place as a cash cow, and the former Rivers State Governor, Wike, mentioned it recently. Alalibo maintain. So, my good people, don't hear them. This one, don't me talk them. Now, them talk them from the NDDC. So, anyhow, I want to take them, make on just manage and like that, because I don't know what I go talk. When I go talk, say me, I don't talk again. But my own, be say, make on the subscribe, like, share, and also comment. This is my honorable video. In any way you say it, in any way you understand it. But the most important thing there is that I bring the news to your doorstep. What do you have to do? Share it. Make sure you get to every nooks and crannies of this country. Have a nice day as you watch and listen. And as you share, subscribe, like, and also comment. Very, very important and very, very necessary. Today happens to be Friday. It's another Friday on our lives and this week. So let us continue to jubilate, the jollificate. They do what? The Maya and the other point and kill. I beg as you the drink, no drive. As you the drive, no drink. That is the nature of life and nature of driving. So anywhere where you take be, make on do what? Make on enjoy on yourself. Until I come your way again, I still remain Okute Daily Talk from my own corner, bringing to you this news. Have a wonderful day. May the Almighty Chukwuka Biama, the greater God, bless us all, the Father, the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Have a nice day. Bye for now, my wonderful people. Ke mesiano omonem.